Hey everybody, this is a last spur of the moment impromptu video, and basically this is going to be about spiritually conscious parenting. We were just sitting here discussing the ways that we are bringing in breaking generational trauma, and there's so many ways to do that, but one of the ways we can do that is by gifting our children with what we haven't been gifted with. When I grew up, no one was speaking about certain subjects that it took us the long, harder road to learn. And I do feel like lessons can also be learned through ease. So it's our responsibility to break all of these cycles that we have. My daughter is 17, gonna be 18 soon. And, I grew up in a Pentecostal church, and I grew up being told this is what you are going to believe for the rest of your life, and that is it. So no critical thinking whatsoever was encouraged or anything. So I want my daughter to know that she has something called intuition, that she is a part of God because God is in all of us, that she does not have to seek out any particular religion or belief if she doesn't resonate with it from her soul, her heart space. And I really want to encourage her to always go within. I want to teach her things like recognizing narcissistic behaviors in people, right? These are things that our generation wasn't taught about, and we had to learn. Mind you, not by ease. We had to learn them the hard way. Learning about energy vampires, learning about how to protect your chakra, your energy systems, how to ground yourself, how to recognize when you feel off balance, how to tap into your higher self. You don't want to be someone who was a victim to a cult group or mentality, or someone who basically just
it's going to take advantage of her.
Yeah, takes advantage of them possibly, because when we are usually in our younger ages, 20s, early 20s, that's a time when we are really discovering who we are. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know who you are and you're searching for something, for meaning, purpose, a home or a family even, you're going to encounter people who are lower vibrational people, who are oftentimes narcissists, sociopaths.
They like taking advantage of people.
They like anybody who likes taking advantage of people. It's a lower vibration, really, whatever title you give it, whether it's tied to a mental disorder or just being, a really fucked up person, yeah, for lack of a better term.
Or a douchebag.
Yeah, or a douchebag. So, we don't want our daughter falling prey to a douchebag in the future or anything like that. We want her to be able to be strong and understand things like balancing your energy, like balancing your feminine and masculine, like not how to, how to recognize relationships that are one-sided and non-reciprocal, and how that's not good for you, and how self-love is important, and how, having your own time to think about your thoughts is important.
Yeah.
So
it's scary.
When you were growing up, you shared with me something your father taught you, even being from an older generation, that I thought was great.
Yeah. He told me not to, just to try to be a good person always, and then if it's not to listen to, I don't know, idiots, or just people that are going to tell you what to do,
And what did he say about church?
That church is within. You don't have to go into a building to listen to other folks talk.
That part.
Just, it's all in you.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of older generation, they don't have that mentality.
Yeah, that was different from my mom.
Yeah. So,
complete difference.
Yeah, you were very lucky to have a parent from that generation that told you those things. So, I think it's conscious parenting when you recognize that you have the ability to hopefully positively influence your children. Everybody has to grow into their own person. Everyone has to make their own mistakes and learn their own lessons. Not every lesson will be learned through ease. Some will be learned through difficulty and heartbreak and all of that. But there's even ways to deal with that. That we weren't taught when we were younger. Ways to not get into repetitive patterns with relationships. How to recognize when you're attracting the wrong reality to yourself and how you can fix that. Stuff like that. So yeah, it's just, I think, I wasn't even planning to do a video. We were just sitting here talking, but I was like, I really need to share this while it's downloaded into my brain. And to say that we really should, definitely invest in breaking those old mindsets so that our youth and our descendants have that freedom to really trust their own self, to be who they are, to live authentically, and all of that. And it's just,
and also that we are here sitting here thinking that we hopefully have taught Ava well enough now that she's going off to college or university, wherever, and that hopefully everything we've instilled in her, it comes back. Because that was the same worried about our parents, I think, or your
Right.
grandparents, your kids.
right.
You're hoping that they are absorbing all you're
Right.
saying.
And what's interesting
That's what's
too that I was gonna share is, it's like we have differences that are extreme between generations, and we also have some things that kind of are the same. Like when I take the example of my grandmother, like she really is in my mind a person who walked the Christ consciousness, even though she was in the church as a Christian. When you look at how much hypocrisy and ego is in a church environment, my grandmother truly worked from her heart. Like she was a healer. I feel like I inherited that from her. Just being a light worker. She was a light worker before people were talking about what is a light worker. She like lived it. She wasn't just all talk, like we know a lot of people are in a lot of religions. People will call her. It didn't matter what time. She was just there for people. And like people had beautiful things to say about her and her energy and everything. It was just a very loving, very high vibrational, very Christ conscious, And I see a lot of that in me, that's her. But I also see a lot of new things. And so we can honor the older than us from our ancestral line, and we can also honor new energies, new patterns of breaking free of programming that no longer serves
Hopefully that
us
wasn't to Ava,
collectively. We can only hope, right? We can only plant information, and then it's up to a person to absorb it, because we all have what on this planet? Free will. That was all. I hope that you got something out of that, and leave me any comments if you feel like you are somehow breaking patterns and passing on good things for your future generation as well. Love and light.